Hi everyone. This is a theory presentation of repurposing in the mobile app industry, presented by Camelia Chang, Wenpin Cai, and William Lin. First, I'd like to define what repurposing means throughout our theory. Repurposing involves finding an alternative use of a product other than its original use, and selling the product in a new market category. Here are some examples of repurposing. Twitter was originally an app in the category of social networking, but it was later moved to the news category on Apple's App Store. Repurposing Twitter has attracted users looking for an easier way to follow breaking news on their mobile devices. The next example is Slido. In 2012, Slido's founders decided to execute the idea of Slido and develop the web-based app. The focus of the company was in the beginning on education, but later shifted to events and meetings. And there's also Listerine. Listerine was originally sold as floor cleaner, but later repurposed as mouthwash. It was at that time that Listerine started to sell big and was loved by customers. Prior research has examined the nature of repurposing through the lenses of innovation, diversification, and strategic orientation such as pivoting. However, a lot of variations in repurpose outcomes remain unexplained. Getting attention in a new market is an important repurpose outcome, particularly in the mobile app industry, which is the field we will be focusing on today. So our research question is, how can a repurposed product quickly gain attention from new customers in the market category that is drastically different from that in which the product was previously sold? Here's our theory. Drawing on Schumpeter's view of innovation that emphasizes novel recombination and March and Simon's idea of search, we argue that, firstly, repurpose goes beyond local search and combines knowledge from prior and new market categories. Secondly, how knowledge is combined from prior and new market categories will influence repurpose outcomes. Here's our definition of rare and novel combination. When an innovation combines knowledge from areas that have rarely been combined before, it is perceived as more novel than innovations that combine knowledge from areas that have been frequently combined. We argue that the rarity of a combination increases market attention, particularly in industries where consumers prefer trying something new and different. So this leads to our first hypothesis. The rarer a repurpose, that is, the less frequently a repurpose with the same prior and destination categories has occurred in the past, the more likely it is to gain market attention in the destination category. A targeted search refers to a search in a clear, specific domain, while an untargeted search refers to a search in a vague domain. As firms repurpose, moving to a more specific category strengthens the effect of the rarity of the repurpose, because the repurposing firm can benefit from the focus strategy, and a larger portion of customers in specific categories is more likely to accept repurposed products. And this leads to our second hypothesis. The rarity of the repurpose has a stronger positive effect on market attention if category vagueness is lower in the destination category compared to the prior category. The empirical setting of the paper is Google's app platform, and the repurposing firms are mobile app developers who change the category of their apps at least once from January 2017 to the end of January 2018 within the US market. Now let's move on to numbers. During our study period, there were 49 categories, 254,000 apps published by 130,000 developers. We only focus on apps owned by developers who launched 2 or more apps to ensure the developers in our sample are firm-like. We identified 2,278 developers repurposed 2,847 apps at least once during our study period. Here's how we measure the outcome. Market attention is measured by counting cumulative number of downloads within the first 2 weeks after repurposing. Rarity is measured by reverse coding the frequency of a repurpose's category combination, which is the number of times repurposes of the same combination of origin and destination categories occurred in the past. Targeted search is measured by a dummy variable taking the value 1 if a repurpose moves from a vague category to a specific category and 0 otherwise. The results of regression analysis support our hypotheses. In general, rarer repurposing gains greater market attention in the new category. Secondly, the positive effect of rare repurposing on market attention will be strengthened when firms repurpose with a targeted search, which is changing from a vague category to a specific one. Thirdly, trial and errors without a clear focus will undermine the market outcome of repurposing innovation with rare combination of market categories. To conclude, our findings contribute to the innovation literature by identifying key factors that lead to successful repurposing. While highlighting the importance of the novelty of combination as sources of technology breakthrough, we also identify key characteristics of repurposing based on the prior and new market categories of repurposing. We advance our understanding of search by showing how repurpose goes beyond local search. We distinguish between targeted and untargeted search and review the risks of untargeted search for repurposing innovation. Our findings suggest some potential challenges of promoting an innovation with a rare combination to a less confined market with a diverse and heterogeneous set of interests. So this brings me to the end of my presentation.